Let's put our phones on silent. No distraction. This is a very crucial time. This is the period. Are we all ready? Should I invite Mr. Okola? Okay, Mr. Oluwaseyi Okola, please step forward to do justice to this part.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Members of the ITV, permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Good morning, daddies and mommies. Can you all hear me now? Good morning. And congratulations to all of you. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, ẹ kúnlẹ̀ láyọ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin kú sọ́nà bí èéfín o. Okay, so my business here this morning is very simple. I'm going to talk about retirement documentation under the CPS. So tẹ́ bá gbọ́ tí bá sọ pé CPS means contributory pension scheme. So I might not call it in full. So please open to page 11 if you have the program. Open to page 11. I have a lot to give out this morning, but unfortunately I only have 20 minutes. So you will help me to help you by just paying attention. Everything is already in that program. Just follow as I explain. So please open to page 11. Now, the CPS became operational in Lagos State on 1st April 2007. And the law that enables it is the Pension Reform Law of 19th March 2007. It was amended 22nd February 2019. And some of the objectives of the CPS, we have that to ensure that Lagos State employees upon desisting from public service receive their terminal entitlement. Also to ensure that employees of Lagos State government save towards retirement. Look at the third one, very, very important. Establishment of uniform rules and regulations in the administration and payment of retirement benefits. That's why you see that when you go to your PFA, whether NFPC, whether Crusader, whether ARM, they ask for the same document to process whatever you want to do. It's a uniform something. Okay? So, at the commencement of CPS, all employees of Lagos State are expected to sign up and open a retirement savings account. Who amongst us does not have a retirement savings account? Is there anybody like that? No. You all open a retirement savings account. Of which, upon retirement savings account, with one of the 15 approved pension fund administrators, you have the 15 listed in that program. Can we all see it? Yes. I need a response. Can we all see it? Yes. Okay, so in case you observe that the PFA you are currently dealing with is not there, let us know. I'm sure it is impossible. Look at the 15. Your own will be there. So, and you will notice that since you sign up, a particular percentage is taken from your basic rent and transport. Okay? Now it is 8%. Am I correct? Then 10% from government. So in total, 18% on a monthly basis is being remitted in your RSA. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? Okay. So unemployed in service prior to the commencement of CPS are entitled to payment called accrued pension right. I told you, I said the CPS started in 2007. So if you have joined service before 2007, you are entitled to a payment called accrued pension right. But if you join service after 2007, you will not get accrued pension right. You will only be entitled to go and collect whatever you have saved in your RSA. Please, whatever I say that looks like grammar or nonsense to you, don't worry, there will be time for you to ask questions. But I see some things already, kilos. Just listen. The ones you can pick them. The ones you don't understand, when it's time for question and answer, you ask your questions. Okay, so the accrued pension right is made up of gratuity and pension. Okay, accrued pension right is paid by Lagos State through the issuance of retirement fund redemption certificates. at retirement into your RSA. Upon retirement from state service, the following components you will get. By the time you retire, okay, you have left service, you will get the following components. Value of your bond, that's accrued right. The second one is pension contribution in your, thank you, RSA. The third one is returns on investment. Let me leave it like that. If you observe, out of these three components, 2 is already with you. Am I correct? Which one? Which one? Which one? I can't hear you. The second and the third one. But I said 3. So the first one there will be paid after you are retired. So if you are not monitoring your RSA now, you are not doing yourself any good. You should be able to know how much is in my RSA currently, how much has been deducted and remitted into my account, how much interest I've accumulated over the years. So if you are not monitoring, it's not different from your bank account. The only thing is that your bank account at the moment is serving you. Yes, am I correct? But this RSA will serve you by the time you retire. It's not different. So if you have interest in your bank account, you should also have interest in your RSA. Because this one will serve you in future, later on, very soon to start serving you. So please make sure you show interest. Don't just say, oh, the government, no, please monitor it. So I won't dwell too much on how to monitor your retirement savings account. Just read through, okay, because of my time. So I won't really dwell too much on it. There are some important things I need to talk about. So now, let's look at assessing your retirement savings account. An employee may assess his retirement savings account when he or she ceases to make further contribution into the RSA as a result of the reasons below. 1, mandatory retirement. You work for 35 years or you clock 60. By the time you have worked for 35 years in service, what should happen? Just like many of us here, we have how many months left? How many months left? 6 months, no more than 6 months. My PS was saying the other time that he has written, and he was asking you, have you written your own? So if you have not written your retirement letter by now, and you have 6 months left, you may face penalty. Yes, 6 months before, you are supposed to have written your letter to notify your employer that in 6 months time, it be my official. Okay, so that's the first one. 35 years or 60 years. The second reason is compulsory retirement when an employee disengages from active service before attaining the age of 60 years in the service of the employer. Another one is retirement on medical grounds. So people are advised to go and retire because of their health. That's another reason. Then another one is equal death. If anybody will die, am I correct? So whenever it occurs and the person is late, that's the end of service. Okay? You can't put your son or your nephew to come and continue the job. It has ended for that person. But our prayer is that you will not die in service, my God, or no. You will walk and retire in Jesus' name. So another one is voluntary retirement. Some people can decide to leave voluntarily. Nothing, they are not sick, but they just want to voluntary retirement. So this can happen whereby when you are at the age of 50, I don't have to wait for 60 years. Let me just retire. That's voluntary retirement. Now look at benefit payment under CPS. I told you what does CPS mean? Contributory pension scheme. Then only my mommies are answering. The daddies, where are you? The daddies alone. What does CPS mean? You are here. Clap for yourself, sir. My mommies, what does CPS mean? We are following. Thank you. So, benefit payments available under the CPS. Lump sum. This you will still understand better, but I will just talk briefly on it. Lump sum. By the time you retire, according to the law, if your money is above a particular amount, you are supposed to get a lump sum. Everything should not be given to you. It is the law, not Laspec law. It is the law by the umbrella that regulates pension in Nigeria. Another thing is we have temporary access to your RSA. Who are these people? If you probably retire or you were advised to retire or whatever, and you are not 60, you are not 50, okay? But you have savings in your RSA. According to the law, if you are out of job for 3 or 4 months, you can access a particular percentage of whatever is in your RSA, and that percentage is just 25%. 25%. percent. If you are still in service, you cannot go there and say, in fact, you have 25%. No, possible. Then another one is en bloc payment. En bloc payment. Now, at the moment, what is obtainable is that if at the point of retirement, you've gone to your PFA, they want to pay you, they want to discuss your retirement exit with you, payment and everything. By the time they input those things in their system, those your data, and the system pops up that you cannot get more than 1/4 of the minimum wage. How much is the minimum wage, please? I can't hear you. 30,000. So by the time the template pops up and tells you that your monthly pension is 9,000 naira, what this statement is telling you is that all the money in that account should be given to you en bloc. Kishi. Bọ́bá ṣe tán wípé ó dáńtà lóṣooṣù ní pension kò tó ìdámẹ́ta minimum wage which is 30,000. Òfin ní kọ́kọ́ ogun ẹ̀fọ́ yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà kẹ́ máa kú lọ. But if it is above 1/3 of the minimum wage, then you have to get a lump sum, then you now get monthly pension. Another reason, another payment available is for death cases. You mentioned death cases in my first under the assessing your retirement. So for death cases, the next of kin, or let me say the beneficiary, who have access to a good pension right, group life, and the money that's the RSA balance plus investment income. Fáwọn tó bá kú sẹ́nu iṣẹ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ̀ní kú sẹ́nu iṣẹ́ o. Now, please and please, if you notice a bit, I watched those ones. This one is very, very important to you, so that you don't get confused. Okay? One of the best ways to prepare is by writing your retirement. Notification of retirement when you ought to write it. So this next one I want to talk about, please and please, just look at me and listen. Very, very important. Now I want to discuss pre-retirement documentation process. Pre-retirement documentation process. This is practically between you, your ministry, and Laspec. You, your MDA, and where? We are not responding. Are we here? And Laspec. So, in case your officer in charge of pension in your MDA is not groomed enough, is not well equipped with knowledge of pension, you'll be able to tell him or her. That's only if you listen to what I want to talk about now, so I don't miss out. Now, you are expected to have notified your employer in writing 6 months before you retire. This is to enable your employer forward below listed document to Laspec, whose responsibility it is to compute your past service benefits. Now, what are those documents? Ask me, what are those documents? I will tell you. Now, the first thing you need to know is that by the time you come to Laspec, we have 4 sections, department or unit that deals with computation of your pension. We have a section called Subeb unit. They are in charge of those who retired and work in Subeb or under Subeb, that's teachers. Okay? We have another section that deals with secondary school teachers or retirees or workers. We call them TESCOM or TEPO, whichever one you want to choose. Then we have another one that deals with local governments. Wherever you are working or you retire from, in our local government, you have a section that deals with that in Laspec. Then we have the one we call mainstream. Those are the people who deals with the active, Alausa, Minister of Education, Minister of Finance, Minister of Agri, and the likes. Okay? Then parastatals, you don't need. I will explain that when I get there. So what are these documents? Now look at this. The first thing is what? Everybody echo it. What's the first one, please? How many copies? How many copies? Duly filled Laspec form. It baffles me sometimes when I see retirees walking down to our office to come and get Laspec form. It ought to be given to you at your office then by your pension desk officer. They ought to have it and give it to you. You can fill it and give it back to them. So please and please, I won't mention MDAs, but there are some MDAs. This thing is true. They only free one for you. By the time you get to Laspec, they will now say, please go and bring the second one. So by the time you know now, you'll be able to tell them over there that this thing should be how many? 2, not 1. Duly filled. By the time it's given to you, make sure you fill everything. Fill all the information that has been asked. Provide those information. You won't have any issue. And please, make sure you put your right date of birth. The correct one. Your correct what? Date of birth. Whether you are working in local government, TechPo, to whatever, everybody should fill Laspec form. And how many copies? Thank you for following. 2 copies. Now, for those in active mainstream, you have a little bit unique or special cases or case. Now, for those in local government, ESCOM, this does not concern you. But if you are working under active mainstream, your staff number, it is very, very important. If you don't fill your staff number, Laspec cannot know your staff number. Are we following? So you won't believe that sometimes when we start dealing with these files, we'll see people filling Laspec form without phone number, without a staff number. So let us be no phone number. The person is for ourselves, no phone number, no staff number. How do we contact such person? But in Laspec, we make sure that we shouldn't just say, oh, provided, put it aside. No, if it is Ministry of Education, we now start checking. Please, do you know anybody in Ministry of Education? Do you know anybody in Ministry of Education? Till we find somebody that knows somebody in Ministry of, and we say, please, help me tell Mr. So to come to Laspec. But please, make this thing easier for us at the commission so that we can serve you and serve you timely. No phone number, no less of phone number, no staff number. So please, make sure you have a staff number. Now let me say this, it will shock you that I personally handled this case. There was a nursing officer that retired. The woman wrote a staff number, but based on experience over the years, I realized that this staff number most likely is not the correct staff number. So I called the person. I said, Mommy, this is a staff number. Are you sure it's correct? She said, yes. She said, how old are you? I said, Mommy, what does that got to do with what I'm asking you? She said, I've been using this thing for the past 35 years. That is correct. I said, Mommy, this thing is not correct. She said, it's correct. I told my boss, I said, look at this person. Because if I use this to request for a file in the staff, they will not bring it. It is not the right staff number. I said, Mommy, please go on. She now called back to this after. She said, my son, I'm sorry. She never opened a staff file. She's been using the wrong staff number. So they have to open a staff file for her and give her a staff number. Then she now tested it to us. We're able to request for a file for Ministry of Staff. Please don't be that person. Say to yourself, I won't be that person. So please, go and confirm, ask questions. But I'm begging you, please, by the time you get a Laspec form, make sure you put a staff number. For those in active, it will help us to get your, without your file for Ministry of Staff, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. So please, then another thing there is what? Notification and acceptance of retirement. If you don't write, you'll be penalized. If you don't write, you can't get retirement letter. So please make sure you do your own, write and get feedback that you can go with effective dates. So it's very, very important. Everybody work together. Then certified true copy of appointment and confirmation letters. Please, who here this morning was not given appointment letter? Nobody. Who was not confirmed? Nobody. So these things, you need to pack them together and put it when you are doing your documentation. Appointment and what? Confirmation. Another one is 2 passport photographs. See, on enlighten now, this one I just mentioned. Sometimes it is just 2, sometimes we are able to put 20 for us. So that one corner is not enough. So please, it is how many? 2. Although if you put 20 for us, we'll keep it in your bag, then we can't use it. But it is 2, okay? Then another thing is your certified true copy of all your promotion letters. See, if any of these I'm mentioning is missing in your file, Mr. A that has a missing document, and Mr. B that has a document that is complete. Check your phone, you are my one now. I don't need to call her. I'll just do what I want to do. I'm done. But for Mr. A, I have to start saying, hello, Mr. A. So there will be different. Please make sure everything is complete for you. Don't care about your friend. Care about yourself first. Then the next thing is debt clearances. My peers mentioned when he was talking, have you gotten all the clearances from STO, from Ministry of Finance, your Skybank share? There are about 4 of them. If you have not, meet with your pension debt officer. It will get it for you. Then the next one is what? Duly filled and great progress original record of service. Everybody say, I can't hear you say, For those in active, I know what this thing means. If you are working under Subem, you can jello. Let me use English, you can jello. But if you are working under Techco or Tescom and mainstream, you cannot jello. It has to be well and correctly progressed. If you retire, if you are on level 14, that is on the level 14, tomorrow you go and do it again. So please, when it is time to fulfill your record of service, if you know that the person in charge doesn't know how to write it, please look for a way to write it correctly so you don't have issues. It is very, very important. Some persons, they will send it to us empty. We have to call them back and say, please go and progress it. Okay? So I have to rush now. My time is. Okay, so the next one is your salary bank statement. So please, 3 months before you retire, till date, you need to get your bank statement and put it in that document. 3 months before you retire, print your bank statement and add it to the document you'll be submitting to them, to your MDA. Another thing is what? PFA welcome letter. When you join this current PFA, were you not registered? And you are given a welcome letter, certificate, put it there. You also need your PFA statement. Since you have been contributing since inception, till that date that you will be going there, they should print for you a comprehensive one and add it to whatever you want to submit to your PDO. Another thing is what? Your last 3 pay slips is a requirement. It has to be there. Your last 3 pay slips. For instance, if you are retiring in December this year and you want to submit everything this month, it shows that you are getting. Salary has not been paid now, but it has been paid last month. You should are getting October, September, and August, the 3 months. Okay. Then another thing is personalized vehicle clearance for those who attain the level 15 and above. If whether you are given a vehicle or not, you should get a clearance for PSO. Okay, PSO. Another thing is asset declaration certificate. Asset, everybody. And I remember at the point that we were all giving that big form to fill to declare our assets and take it to Guinea-Corn court. Then go and get a certificate. Many of us don't do it. When you want to retire, you go and do it by force. But if you have done it then you know that you are okay. So if you have not done it, before you retire, this 6 months you have, go and ask, how do I go about it and do it? Okay? So, and please, if you work in any of our parastatals and you are here now, you don't need bond. All you need is just clearance. By the time you retire, your employer will inform Laspec that they have paid your good pension rights, and Laspec will give you clearance to go and collect your money in your PFA. So please and please, these are the things that you need to put together before you retire, and these things will be forwarded to Laspec. By then you know you are okay. Once again, please and please, always put your phone number and your next of kin details. Phone number too. If you don't have next of kin, there's nobody. You have next of kin, Shani, maybe your neighbor, your children, your wife, whatever. Put a phone number. In case your own is not going, we can contact that person to help us get in touch with you. So please, once again, help us to help you. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okuola. I hope it was well comprehended, all he told you. And we are going to do our documentations properly. That's a promise. Clap for yourself. Thank you. Yes, there's going to be a change, a slight change in the program. I'm going to bring one forward, and that will be managing your finances in retirement. Managing your finances in retirement. And this will be handled by Mr. Michael Oyebola and Ian Sam Orungbe. Am I right? Please come forward. Please give them a big round of applause. Managing your finances is very, very important. No more Ashoebi. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I've come to you as a fellow retiree too. Me too, I'm retired though. So we will be talking the same language because we understand ourselves. Abi? So I see that we have a full room here. One of the things we want to start with first is just thanking God for seeing you through all these years of service. It's a very significant and important place to be. And I can promise you that the stage that you are moving into will even be more pleasurable than the one you have lived. Please let's all be upstanding and welcome the Honorable Commissioner, Staff Training and Pensions, Mrs. Achibola Fonle. You're most welcome, ma. Thanks for joining us for the program. All right. Thank you very much. Welcome, Madam Commissioner. It's nice to have you on board. Okay, so like I said, the prayer here is that the state that we are moving to will be even more richer than the one we are stepping away from in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so by way of introduction, you know, what we are going into now is one of the major milestones in life. Having worked for so many years, now we are coming into a time of enforced relaxation. Because that's what we call it, is enforced relaxation. Did you ask to go into this stage of relaxation? No. Where you are working has ensured that after working for all these years, now it's time to step aside. But somehow, for many of us too, without realizing it, we don't really think too much about this stage that we're going into. And somehow we don't plan for it. But we should. Because if I ask in the room now that, even as we are retiring, and my assumption is that most of us are in the region of 60 or thereabouts, if I ask that, if you had the opportunity, how many more years would you like God to grant you before He calls you over? Many times I've heard people say, maybe 30 more years, I'll be okay if I live till 90. Abi? Okay, so even if it's 90, and we are 60 now, so that's 30 more years, Abi. 30 good years. So should 30 good years be lived without any plan? It shouldn't be. So, you know, people have said that, you know, when you talk to people when they are much younger, the last thing they want to talk about is retirement. I mean, what's that? But we've also discovered, research has shown, that when you talk to people when they retire, one of the regrets they have is that they did not start planning on time, especially concerning the finances. But we want to even thank God for the Pension Reform Act of 2014, originally 2004, that has sort of forced us into this scheme. Because many of us, well, let's just be going. That's how we've been living life. But it's important because without planning for our finances in retirement, we would have made a costly mistake. So most likely this is the story, right? So we are approaching 60 years of age, I assume. And we are planning for retirement from the service of Lagos State government. So maybe you have 6 months, 3 months, whatever. No matter what, you don't have up to 1 year. From what I've heard, right? By God's grace, your children should have finished school. Maybe they are university graduates. Some are about to graduate. And they have embarked on their own career by God's grace. So hopefully, you won't need to be paying their fees or supporting them by God's grace. You have grandchildren now. Some of us have been blessed to have grandchildren. Some of us have also been blessed to have a home of our own. So we are not still living in rented apartments. And some of us have investments by God's grace. So the question is, what is next? You know, as you near retirement, right? A lot of the conversation that we'll be having is about money, 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 finances, finances. That is important, I can tell you that. But there's an aspect some of us have not thought about, and that is the emotional side or retirement